I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. All right, everyone. Welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. How are you today, Yolanda?
I am doing so good. Glad to be here, Miss Kim.
Well, I'm so glad to have you here today. Very, very glad. You look wonderful over there in your multiple colors.
Thank you. Thank you. Trying to be bright like the sunshine.
Oh, and you bringing it. You bringing a lot of sunshine with you over there. So thank you for being here today. Where are you located?
I am in outside of Cleveland, Ohio, in a little bitty place called Sandusky.
Oh, so you know you need to bring the sunshine when it's possible.
Yes.
Any given moment, it's like let's get it.
Right? Yes, let's get it.
Because it is not like it's that when it's wintertime,
Whoo.
It's everything. It'd be like intense over there, right?
And we in Ohio, you can have 3 seasons in one day. It's just you never know.
That's so true. Yeah. I actually used to cover some of the Ohio. Anyway, I've have covered so many areas in the pharmaceutical industry when I was back in those days. And some areas I was like, this right here is cray. This is a lot,
Yeah.
But today, listen, everybody, we're going to be talking to you all. If you're CEO of any kind of business, you're an entrepreneur, you may not even consider yourself a CEO, but you know that you are managing multiple businesses or multiple opportunities. We're talking to you today because we have Yolanda here, who is an expert in this field. Actually, she says she has a theory. So before we even go into deep detail and I introduce you, what's your theory for CEOs? You said it's a theory that you have.
Oh, okay. Yes, we were talking about this. When you first start out in your business, you are the chief everything officer. You're doing everything. But what I do is I come in and help you focus on those highest revenue generating tasks so that you can step into that bossdom and be a real Fortune 100 CEO. Because I feel like if you shoot for Fortune 100 and you miss, you're still among the stars.
That's right. Good. I love that theory. And I'm glad we're kicking it off with that mindset. Listen, as you all are coming into the virtual studio audience, let us know who you are, where you're visiting in from, and definitely ask your questions throughout today's broadcast while we have someone here at this caliber to answer them. Yolanda she's a powerhouse to say the least, but she is the systems solutionist and CEO of the Business Assistance Group, 3-time best-selling author, certified launch manager, and a certified disc profile analyst. So whatever you need to know today in this hour, make sure you do not walk away with the same questions. So we're going to be in for a treat, I think. What do you think?
I think it's going to be great.
Now, also, before we even go even further, I also found out that you're like the extrovert introvert. What's that all about? Because you're like, to me, you're an extrovert, but
I am the most extroverted introvert you will meet. When the lights come on, lights, camera, action, I'm all here. But if I don't have that downtime, I am a homebody. Give me a book, a TV show, a blanket, a beach, a quietness. If I don't have that time to recharge, I get slangry, I get hangry, I get all of the above. And so it works. But at certain times I do. I just need to be with myself. I'm not by myself. I'm with myself because I'm some of the best company you will ever have. It's just me and Jesus. And I just need, even Jesus rested. He took that time with his Father, and I take that time with myself, with God, and just get centered and start all over again.
Wow. Okay. So I can totally relate. Actually, you all can check it out on Facebook. I did a post just literally this week.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
And I was reading it because I always look to see if people say by myself, and you started out and then you said with myself. I said, come on, Miss Kim.
And you know what? I'm not used to that. So it's a newfound journey for me, but it's one that I'm embracing and I am really enjoying. So to be able to, like you say, just grab a book. I love reading. So I've been a reader since I was in my childhood. That's how actually I'll spill the tea. My mama used to, her punishment, part of her punishment to me was she would take the book rack out of my room.
Okay, see, we on the same wavelength because my mom found all of those other punishments never worked for me. But if you take my book, if you take that, t- don't let me have no pencil, take my book. That's like telling me I couldn't go outside. I didn't care about going outside. I don't want to
Right,
be
I
out
could
there
care
no
less.
way.
That's exactly what happened. I would just be like, okay, she would say, well, you gonna be in that room or whatever. It was very rare that I even got in a bunch of punishments. But when I did, I was like, oh, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. And then she would come back and she'd be like,
Right. She come in there and be like, it is,
oh,
you are so quiet. And she was like, okay, this is not a punishment. This is
this
not
is
what
not a punishment. But
not
take
not
that book. And I was like, oh my
take
gosh, what am
right.
I
And I'm
gonna do
like,
now?
I don't know what I'm gonna do in here. I just yeah, that was driving me
And
crazy.
and I don't know if you were into like Judy Bloom and Beverly
Oh, you
Hills.
had to have your Judy Bloom and your Amelia Bedelia.
Yeah, all of them, all of them.
Girl, all of them, all of them, all of them, all of them. I'm
Yeah, I was
so
in a young
glad that
authors conference.
our young people now have different ethnicities, but we had Judy Bloom and Amelia Bedelia. Them was the two, and you rocked with them. But yes, I going away to college, I went away and I
Mm,
went away to start my career. So going to the movies, going to dinner, going to anywhere I went, I was with myself. I check in with my parents, like I'm good,
mm.
just because I'm so far away. But yes, I've definitely learned how to be with myself.
Wow. Well, I was always dating. I dated, well, not just dating around like that or anything, but I dated the same person since I was 18 years old and then
Ooh.
ultimately got married and was married, 5 children, and all of this stuff for over 28 years together for 34, a lot of different factors pertaining to our marriage. But now I'm not married. And so it's like,
Oh, so you have a husband? I have a husband.
yeah, so I'm like, OMG, now what? Now, kudos to him. There were a lot of things back in the day that I've never done on my own because I didn't have to do them because he did those things. But
Okay,
now I'm like, what? You have to
you
do
can
the
do it.
changing of the oil, get the tag. You have to, all of this stuff.
You can trust me, you can do it, and we don't have to do some of them things. Just know which place to go and pull up with the car, and
That's right.
they're ready for you.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, you
So
got
see,
it.
I got my own personal training from the CEO expert over here. Let's
Everything is a system. Everything.
I need every system I can get. So, anybody else in the comments over here in the studio audience, if you can relate to what we're talking about, put some comments. We'll share some of your comments as well. Today, we're talking about how CEOs can bring better balance into your life. So, let's just start with where did that become an issue for you, maybe, and how you became seeing the need that this needs to become something that I can do to help other people.
Okay, so how this became something for me to do for other people actually came out of this is not my first business. I actually started a clothing store, dress clothes for men and women, Sunday go to meeting. I had specialized in plus sizes for women, big and tall for men. And out of nowhere, it was like an instant success. I had brick and mortar, I had online, I was doing personal styling. Everything was booming. And I'm still doing this beside my 9 to 5 because I'm
Is that one
not.
of the dresses right there that you have on?
No, I bought this from a nice boutique, but it was one of the wholesalers that I used. I just still keep my
That's
connections because I
beautiful.
gotta look good.
You
Thank
look
you, Miss
good.
Kim. So everything was going really, really, really well. But then all of a sudden things started to shift. I found that I was feeling inundated, frustrated, overwhelmed. My days and nights became longer. I didn't feel a sense of accomplishment because I was doing dress clothes and I don't like anybody to look like me. I didn't want anyone to look like my clients. So I only ordered at the most 2 of something, but it was always a different color or a different pattern. So a lot of my day was spent placing orders, receiving orders, making sure that
Mm.
my tailor was there because I had a tailor in house so that you wore your clothes didn't wear you.
Mm. Look
Um,
at you.
and so it was growing so fast. And I had a plan in case this didn't work, a plan if that didn't work. I
Right.
backup plan to my backup plan, but I didn't have a plan to succeed.
Okay.
And a plan to succeed is completely different from a plan not to fail. And
Okay.
so I found myself, me, the licensed CPA, turning in my tax returns late. I
Mm-hmm.
was having penalties greater than even what the taxes
Mm-hmm.
were. My orders weren't getting taken care of as quickly as possible. I felt like my customers were starting to miss out on stuff.
Mm.
I didn't feel like I was accomplishing anything. Although my bank account said, girl, you're doing big things. It
Yeah.
was, I just didn't have those systems and processes in place to
Mm.
support the business, the success. See, when
That's
I work with a woman, I start with a girdle because we all know foundation go a long way. When you put that dress on without anything versus when you put that dress on and you got that extra support,
girl.
my
That you know.
business didn't have that extra support and the ugliness was starting to seep from the inside out.
Mm.
So I had to make a choice to walk away. And in walking away, being an overachiever and stuff, I'm like, well, what happened, Lord? Because I felt like He gave this to me. So what
Right.
happened? And what happened is I just didn't have the systems and process. I didn't have the foundation. I like to say it's like the three little pigs. Those first two pigs, they built a house. It was cute. It was nice. But when the
That's right.
wind blew, they fell over. But that one
Mm.
who made sure he had that strong foundation, it didn't matter what the wind did.
Mm.
And
I love
sometimes
it.
the win ain't always bad. Sometimes the win is in terms of great success, lots of orders, lots of clients. But if you don't have that stuff in place to support it, you can quickly go from scaling to failing in your business. And so
That's
I prayed and I asked God, like, what happened? And He's like, you just didn't have a foundation.
mm.
And so when I'm looking at what that encompasses, I can see how all those things that I've ever done in my life, whether it's a born talent, a learned talent, they all come together to make the system solutionist. And
That's good.
what I bring to my clients that other people don't is I've been there, done that. I
So
know
you're
what it's
bringing
like to,
experience. You're
I know
bringing
what it's like to
personal experience.
fail, even when it looked like you succeeding. I know all the emotions you're gonna have. And so
Good.
let's deal with that. Let's be transparent. Let's get it done. Now
That's
let's
right.
fix it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, you said that there is a difference between planning to succeed versus planning to fail. Or
Hmm.
so tell me what that theory is. I wanted you to
Okay.
kind of
So
elaborate on
when you're trying to make sure that you don't fail, you have a plan in case this doesn't work. You have a plan in case this doesn't work.
right.
But
So
a
plan
plan to
B, C, D,
succeed,
and all of that.
yes, a plan to succeed says plan A works. So what do you do when it keeps growing? How are you ready for the next level? Are you ready to go to the next level? Because when the next level, when that opportunity knock on the door and you're not ready, it's gonna pass you by.
See, I don't know about y'all over there, but see, I got my own pen taking my own notes over here. So if y'all see me looking to the side, it's like technically we in class, we in a workshop. And so I try to I practice what I preach in this regard. So if I'm telling y'all to take some notes, which you should be taking, then definitely I'm over here taking some notes too. So if y'all see me lean out of the screen, it's because I'm like, what? Say that again. And they'd be like, what kind of unfocused talk show host is she?
Mm-mm,
I'm a note taking. I'm a
no, this
note
is how we
taking.
work. Me and Miss Kim have a whole thing. Don't worry. Just come on in the room. Come on in the room.
Yeah, I'm in on my own world over here. I'm learning. Okay. So plan A works. Then what's the next level?
What's the
That
next
is
step?
okay. So not always just saying, okay, well, what if this fails? Then what am I going to do? What if this doesn't work? Then what am I going to do? And
Yeah,
it's
we're
all of
we're
these.
conditioned for the what if it doesn't work.
Yes.
I'm in a mentorship, and one of the things that she always says is normalize abundance.
Mm.
So what if this works?
Somebody
How
type
do
that in the comments section. Normalize abundance.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to be ready for the good things. You've
Mm.
asked God. His promises say He gonna deliver if you walking in your purpose. Because see,
Mm.
hustle is not a verb. Hustle is a noun. Hustle is the
Girl,
gift that
let me
God
look that up.
placed
I did
in.
not know that. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hustle is a noun. I got to
Yeah,
verify
because
that.
see, you got to know that you have the freedom to when you a believer, you have the freedom to change things up a little bit. So see,
Okay.
hustle is not a verb. Hustle is a noun. Hustle is the gift that God placed inside of you. You don't need to chase anything that He placed inside of you. So when I say I help you take the hassle out your hustle, I'm helping you to use your gift in a way that's going to be easier and help you to fulfill your place in the kingdom.
Okay, well, here, according to this Oxford Language Dictionary, the
Yeah, I know
noun
what they say.
Okay, so you like, girl, forget what the options.
No, I mean,
say.
I'll listen.
It's
I'll
right
listen
here.
to. Go ahead and tell me what they say, and then I'll fix it for you. I'll fix it.
Okay, what I was gonna say is that the noun version of what they're saying definitely corroborates. What is that word? It
Corroborates.
Yeah,
You
corroborates.
got it.
Anyway, what you're actually saying, which is busy movement and activity, the hustle and bustle of the whatever, right? And another way is like the hustle is a fraud or swindle. The hustles
Yeah, that
being
came
used.
along in the 1920s, but even before
Right.
that, hustle meant someone who was well defined, knew what they were doing, and set out in motion. The
Yes.
difference is also it says busy. We don't want to be busy. We want to be productive. See, bees, when it say busy bees, those are worker bees. They work from the moment they come in the world to the world that they die. However, when you're a productive profiteer, you getting results and you're not spending all your time spinning your wheels and running around in circles.
I love it. And the verb version here is saying force someone to move hurriedly
Mm-hmm.
and unceremoniously in a specific direction. So
Yes.
and obtained by forceful action or persuasion. Everything that you're saying
So that
is
just means you clear on your purpose. You done prayed, God done gave it to you. You know what your gift is, and you moving in motion toward it. Because I'm a firm believer that God is the God of multiplication. See, a lot of people say, "Oh, you got to push, pray until something happens." Okay, but you also got to work what you know
yeah,
while you pushing.
I
Because
agree.
the God that I serve, He took 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. So
And
if
fed
you
people.
doing a little bit that you know how to do, then here He come with that multiplication factor, and He gonna grow it. But
That's
any
right.
number times 0 is 0. Now God can outweigh that, but why?
Why do we have to put him to that test? To me, it doesn't make sense. He's already given us what we need, and he's equipped us with what we need, and he expects a result, a harvest from what he's given us. So
And if
I
you,
agree.
yeah, and if you know that the little bit that you do is going to make it even greater, then you every day will work to do a little bit more so that it can be even greater.
Speaking of which, y'all, I might as well go ahead and put my own shameless plug in here. Let me do this since we since we know that if you just give a little bit, God can multiply it. And I'm not even
Mhm.
exaggerating. Donate to the Kim Jacobs Show today if you would take a brief moment throughout this episode. After this episode, make sure you donate to the Kim Jacobs Show. You can do it a variety of ways. And it's $ Kim Jacobs Inc. on Cash App or paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. and even on Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show. But the reason I'm telling you this is because people reach out and ask about ways to donate. And the only way this show thrives is through community contributions.
Mhm.
So thank you for those that do donate already. And there's no way we're gonna have a CEO event going on here, and I'm not gonna at least tell you donate to the Kim Jacobs Show. Give you that opportunity.
Yes,
And
you
plus,
have to sow. You have to sow a seed into it if you're expecting a harvest. And as you said, you taking notes. If other people are taking notes, it say you're supposed to give where you fed. Today, this where you fed. So give a little.
oh,
Don't you know I'm a PK, so I'll do an offering. Don't get started, Miss Kim.
girl, I used to do mannequin modeling right in the store, and people would be like, "Is she real?" I'd be like this. Then I would wink at them, and they were like, "What is that?" Anyway, yeah, I'm being silly, but I'm enjoying myself so much
Yes.
with you, Yolanda. Listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, hear from one of our episode sponsors, Hunter Everidge Law Firm, and then we're going to come right back with some more from Yolanda Churchwell. We'll be right back, everyone. I'm enjoying myself.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter and Everidge, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
All right, everyone. We are back, and we are talking with Yolanda Churchwell. Quite excited to have you here today, and want to find out, how do you go about disrupting the status quo of business entrepreneurs?
Okay, so the status quo, the statistic, y'all know I love numbers. The CPA in me, I just get high off of systems and numbers. I'm a real
Okay.
geek. It's okay. But 8 out of 10 businesses fail before year 5. that number is even magnified for minorities and people of color. And these businesses, again, they don't fail for lack of a good product or service. They lack because they don't have that foundation in place that will support their day-to-day operations. So that's where I come in, and I provide you not only the strategy, but the processes, the SOPs, and the systems. So it's one-stop shopping. You get all of that, which is the formula for success, so that you are able to continue to grow your business, because there is a difference between growing and scaling.
Yes.
But you will grow your business so that you're in a position and ready to scale. And a lot of people don't know, but this isn't a one-time thing. Every time you have a level of growth in your business, you need to take a moment and look at your systems and how things are working for you to see where you need to tweak things, because you indeed need to make things easier for you to do.
So look and see how often do you y'all taking notes? How often do you recommend that someone evaluate their business to see where they need to make adjustments?
Okay, so whether you're a solopreneur or you have a full team, I'm going to tell you, you're going to feel what I call the tug of war. It's the tug of war between what it is that you do for your clients, the gift that God has placed inside of you, and the business of doing business. When you start to feel that you're being pulled between those two, that's when you need to stop. You need to call me. I'm not even going to say call somebody, call me.
Let me tell y'all how y'all can, wait a minute, let me put my notebook down and tell y'all how y'all stay connected.
And that's when you do an assessment of your systems so that we can see where you need something to be tweaked or changed. Because as a CEO, like I said, first you want to focus on your highest revenue generating task. You have no business doing email and graphics. We all love to play with Canva, but let's face it, that's not bringing any money in.
Right.
Okay. So after you know what
it is for the person that is supposed to be their gift. Let me be clear. If that, let me go back, because I agree that it may not be what we are doing per se, but for someone that God has given that gift to, and that's the way you earn your money, then yes, you should be doing that.
Yes. So after you figure out what your highest revenue generating tasks are, and this is something that I can help you with, then you find a way to do everything else easier and better. That's that strategies, that's that systems, that's that processes. This is where you get to meet my biz besties, automate and delegate. Honey, them is my best friends. I don't fool around. And what happens then, once you have those first two steps done, that's when you can step into that visionary. That's when you can start to move like a Fortune 100 CEO. If you running around putting out little fires everywhere, you're not going to be moving like a CEO. Once you get to visionary means you standing at the top of the mountain. What happens when you look at a picture from the mountaintop or you stand on the top of the mountain? You literally see rivers of opportunity and streams of income. So if you want multiple income streams, you have to be free to be able to take advantage of them when they show up. But if you're running around doing all the things, you're not going to be able to do that. So let's get some systems and processes in place, whether you're a solopreneur or a CEO with a full team or somewhere in between. And let me tell you what, if you get the systems and processes in place, your business will grow, and then you will be ready to hire a team. And when you write down those standard operating procedures, that's what you use to train your team to do the job. It all works together.
I'm tagging people I know too. I'm over here working. You think I'm straight at a university classroom and they've allowed us to pull our phones out and start tagging people. It is so important not to deprive other people of the opportunity, not because it's the Kim Jacobs show, because it is not even about me, Kim, at all. This is about giving people the opportunity to hear from someone of this caliber that's breaking it down for us, how to automate and delegate, how to have our highest revenue generating possibilities, how to look and see when you need to tweak your business. These are all notes that I'm taking right now, and I know you all are taking as well. We're born or learned. Plan A works. What's the next level? Normalize the abundance instead of just working on a plan in case things fail. There's some girl right here. It's gonna be my reading. And yes, y'all, please make sure you benefit from what's happening today. Mackenzie, pop a few of the comments up before we would go to our next break, because we have a special guest backstage too that we're going to transition to in a few moments. Let's see. Oh, Mackenzie said, "You look beautiful, Queen."
Oh, thank you. Oh, she said both of us. Thank you.
Mackenzie, thank you. Okay. Normalize abundance. Thank you for typing that. Justine Hilliard said, this is good. Lady Justine Hilliard, she said, this is some good information. And you know how people at Change the World could really benefit from this. This is great. Any other comments? Keep them coming. We welcome you to chime in, tag your friends, share the broadcast. Whew. Okay. When you say get the bag, I want to hear about that theory too, because that's another theory that you have.
Okay. So the BAG stands for Business Assistance Group, but you know us, we like to shorten stuff. So the BAG.
Okay.
And anytime that you're doing something, you know, it's all about, especially as people of color, you either have someone in your life, our grandparents, whatever, they either had a hustle, a side hustle. Your grandma cooked dinners in the kitchen and sold them. She did hair on the side. Or was her.
Let me tell you, my grandma really did right quick. Can I say it right quick? My grandma actually had property on her street and she owned all of these homes, and they weren't super duper cute, highest level, but they were clean, nice, and she collected that rent. Go ahead.
Yes. So a lot of us come from families where, you know, they've always done their own thing in addition to having a 9-to-5, or in the most successful cases, you know, they actually hang up their own shingle. You have beauticians, laundry people who've always done their own thing. And we say they get in their bag. Okay. So I say, get the bag, the Business Assistance Group, to help you secure your bag. Because when you get my company, because you see me, I'm the face, but this is an agency. This is an agency that takes things on your to-do list away from you and does them for you.
So like a virtual assistance type of company?
But instead of it being administrative tasks, it's your systems, it's your processes. It's those things that make your business run.
And is it reasonably priced? I know they can do their consultation with you, but is it a reasonable price that business owners can easily afford?
The return, you will make it back just as quickly as you invested.
Because you all are going to walk us through the steps.
Because once you get your business set up where you have, like, okay, your automations. Every time you sit down, I would just use a simple. Every time you sit down and send emails, you don't need to be creating those emails. Right. You need to have those emails in a sequence. So you push a button and a person walks through and sends all of those emails. Stop making things difficult. See, when you have to sit down and type out each email and send it to each person, do you know the time that takes? Taking you away from your highest revenue generating task, which is whatever solution or transformation you provide to your client.
Yes.
Whereas when you have that all set up in an automation and you push a button and it automatically happens, that's called making money while you sleep.
So your company can help with that.
That's called business is happening. Business is going on whether you're there or not.
Okay.
Many people know my sister transitioned in January. I took 5 weeks off my business, but I didn't miss one client deliverable because my systems are in place.
Wow. Okay. So just so you can kind of get your mind right for the second half of our discussion, what I would love for you to do is share a few tips that some people are going to come over and utilize your services. There are some that may not, but at the end of the day, I want the viewers to walk away with some tips on how to do some things to automate their business. So guys, we're going to take a commercial break. I'm going to switch things out for a minute and put our episode sponsor, which is Dr. Jo D. Bear. She's here backstage with us. She's America's top health coach, and we are so honored to have her here today. And again, one of the sponsors of the Kim Jacobs Show. And we're going to have her come on and talk about summertime health for a few moments. Then we're going to come back and have our conversation with you, Yolanda. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my gosh, I'm enjoying myself. We'll be right back, everyone, right after this commercial break. Thank you, Mackenzie, backstage.
Welcome to Confidence Tones, where we use a proprietary audio development formula called audio immersion to provide an experience that's designed to help quickly and effortlessly generate positive change in the subconscious mind when used correctly. This experience is achieved using 4 primary building blocks: brainwave modulation, invocation of positive emotions, immersive imagination stimuli, and developmental suggestion. We know of no other source in the world that provides the synergistic combination. With a good pair of headphones, you'll be able to immerse yourself into audio that's designed specifically to help you feel better, do better, and live better.
All right, everyone, we are back and we are talking with Dr. Joe D. Bear. How are you, Dr. Joe D?
I am the best, because I'm with you, Balanced Doctor.
Well, I'm happy because I have America's top health coach right here, Dr. Joe D. Bear herself, who's author of a gazillion books, like literally. This woman, if it can be written, she's definitely a part of it. She's also been with projects with Dr. Les Brown. And I don't know how she's able to do it, but she's able to ignite some passion where he helps get involved with some of these projects that she's doing. So thank you so much for being here today.
And thank you for airing our commercial. And you talk about what Les Brown says about what we need in this world is a collaborative, conscious, heart-centered leadership. That's what Yolanda's talking about. That's what you and I deliver. And when it's from the heart, it works. It just works. And I do want to make a plug for Healthopedia. And we'll be talking about confidence tones. One of my companies, one of my projects that I consulted with, we'll be talking about that a little later. But your son, Ivan, is going to be in this book with Dr. Bernie Siegel. I want everybody, even though it's the end of July, September 18th is going to be here. And there will be 42 authors in this book.
42 authors.
42 authors, all 6 pillars of our health: spiritual, physical. Ivan's going to be in there with me on the physical component, mental, emotional, social, and financial. Names that you know: Serena Brown Travis, Dr. Dame Doria Cordova, Dr. Gary Sanchez, all of these healers. And I know that I'll be back and talking about this in August because it is my heart-centered wish. But I'm going to just revert around what everybody's heart-centered wish is. And it's summer. It's summertime. I had this when we did Freestyle Fridays. I want to hold up. I'm in a hotel, so I don't know whether you can see my shirt.
I am
Joe D doing Joe D things.
Oh, you do Joe D things.
Yes, I am Joe D doing Joe D things. Okay. I had it on the thing. Isn't that's what we do in the summertime? I can tell you, I got one for both of my grandchildren. Then my son and daughter-in-law, I just came back from Michigan. That's why I got the tan, and just said, well,
I was wondering why you were similar to my complexion. I was like, how does girl do that? What?
Oh, how did a girl do that? Because I've been grafted on the vine to you. Okay. So I'm saying that you're Kim doing Kim things in the summer. But as Yolanda said, we need support. We need support in summer. You don't think about it. You just think I'm out there, Joe D doing Joe D things. She said, hustle is a noun, but health is a part of hustle as a noun, but it's also a verb. You have to do health. It is in your mind. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you 5. Okay. I used to live in Hotlanta.
Okay.
For 10 years. I was from Montana. I was a snow girl. I was up in the mountains. I saw snow in July 4th.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So let me tell you something, Kim. You don't go ahead. I didn't know that you could actually see air. That's humidity.
Right.
You see air. And what does that humidity do? It dehydrates you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I did my makeup differently. I know this is a girl thing, but let me tell you something. I didn't put the TV contour on today because but in 10 minutes, it would have been down on my shoulders with the humidity. The extra lashes still feel like they may be down on my nose at the end of the hour. That's just like humidity. So you think you're sweating so profusely. You've heard this over and over and again. But hydration, I talked about it on Freestyle Fridays, but I'm going to put this book up again. Not only is this longevity, but this is silica water. It's not only the secret to longevity, but see, it says the aluminum age. It is by Dennis Grove. You can only go get it at thebookshop.org. Huh. But if you're my age at 69, feeling oh so fine, But don't you know that you've seen chemtrails? You see them and they're everywhere. It's aluminum is everywhere and it dehydrates you. It ages you.
Right.
You must get it out of your body with water. Now, this is the second one. I had Fiji water the other day. This is this Icelandic water. It's
hard to see it because of the screen background
it's
thing.
called Icelandic glacial water.
Okay.
We can just put that in there. It's Iceland. This is the one that's 9.4. Fiji water is a great one. It's volcanic water. It will keep you alkaline. Here's my favorite.
I love Fiji water for sure too.
Yeah. And this is coconut water. But guess what? It's got a little purple to it to match my branding tones. No, it has palm in it. Pomegranate. Just a bit of pomegranate juice because it'll be great for your kidneys. You know that in the heat that you dehydrate, you know that it is just one of those things that you do, but when you know that you feel like you're thirsty, it's too late. So do keep in mind. Number 2, I've talked about yin and yang on the program. Okay. Power, that's yang is in your power. Yin is when you're at rest. Make sure
Yin is when you're at rest.
No, yin is when you're at rest. And yang is at power. In my book, Kim, I talk about the 21 days to peak performance. I talk about their circadian rhythms. But in the summer, you need more yin. You need more rest than you do exercise. I've done 14 marathons, Kim. I have never done a marathon after May because it is really toxic to your body. So make sure that you rest and what you do with your food in yin and yang. Okay. I'm a big one with meditation. I'm a faith believing in the Almighty, the creator of all, our savior. Okay. Mm-hmm. Confidence tones is not some moogie foogie meditation.
No.
Tones it is absolutely using the tones that we've been given to calibrate the yin in your system so you don't have too much yang. They are absolutely essential in the summer, and I'll get into that in a minute. And I start going because there's so much to say. I'm going to leave something out, but I'm watching my time, girl. I know I am, so you can get back to your wonderful guests. But cool yourself down with confidence tones. Cool yourself down with just that 10-minute anxiety, stress, meditation, short nap. That's one of my favorite. Just a slumber and a memory tone.
That's good.
It has improved because you know how you kind of forget when you get hot? I mean, right now I can tell you, I think even my hair is hot. That's why it's up on my head in July. All right. So eat raw, 80% raw with your foods. That is cooling your body. Eat a lot of salads. If you do have something hot, you know what food is the best? Actually, soup. Because it's easy to digest, which gets me into the 2 organs that are so important with summer health, and they are your liver and your gallbladder. Your digestive system is your second brain. If you're feeling a little foggy, it's because your digestion is hurting. All right. So these are foods that you can have for your gallbladder. I'm not talking about tons of supplements or anything else. You're going to love this. Watermelon. Who doesn't like watermelon?
I love watermelon.
Watermelon every single morning for my breakfast in the summer. Peaches. You just get yourself even a thing of peaches in their own juice. You put it with ice in its smoothie. You will instantly have energy. Cantaloupe is the same because cantaloupe is an antifungal, yet a juicy. All melons are good. All right. And then blueberries. Okay. I'm not going to eat a quart of blueberries a day, but you know what I'm going to do for my brain health?
What?
I'm going to do this. It's from Amazon. I give Jeff Bezos a lot of money. It's called NutriPlus. It's organic blueberry powder.
Okay.
This is my little detox in the morning. 2 scoops of this blueberry powder is equivalent to a quart of blueberries.
Wow.
That resveratrol, those antioxidants for your head, it hydrates you very, very easily. And then I put a little wheatgrass in it. If you don't want to make it purple, it's okay. Just get the 3 capsules. And I like Sproutman brand. Take 3 wheatgrass tablets. And this is what I'm telling you, in that coconut water. What have I just done? I have bathed my gallbladder. I've taken care of my kidneys. and I've made my pH balance correct.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
That-
This is in time allows. I've got 3 more, if that's okay. Are we doing okay, Kim?
you have about 1 more minute.
Okay, this is liver detox. It's Vibra 360. You can get it on my website if you can put that back up. You put it in your water. It will hydrate you with electrolytes. It's amazing. And I knew that I was going to get in trouble with this show and tell thing. You can always get a 20-minute free consultation. I'll give you everything. These pee strips. These are pee strips. They are pee strips in the morning. Check your alkalinity. It is so important. And the best way to be alkaline is the Vibra 360 coffee. I know that your family loves this coffee. It will make you alkaline. It will hydrate you. Will give you all your antioxidants that you need. And aren't you going to have your cup of coffee per day? So you can go to my website, drjody.com, and it's right there under the health situation. My next thing is inflammation. It's the cause of all disease. I couldn't even get my ring on this morning because of inflammation. It's letting your body is telling you that you need more hydration. And then I'm going to give you my last story with confidence tones.
Okay.
The project that I was part of, so honored to be a part of to create this. These just binaural beats brought my body, the body is a miracle making machine that can and will heal itself, brought my short-term memory back. Bob Bear, because you have more injuries.
That's her husband, everybody. Okay.
Yeah, Bob Bear. He's a wonderful man. Well, Dr. Bob Bear did not show his PhD in using health in his brain. Okay. His double PhD. He overdid getting us ready for being back to our house. And guess what? He extended, tore a muscle around his rib cage away from his diaphragm. It was bad because more muscle injuries happen in the summer because we're not connected.
That's right.
Because we are dehydrated. There are 6 pillars in confidence tones: spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, financial. I wonder where I got that from. Okay. Then the physical tone, there's a soothe. I never used it before. I created, never used it before. Bob put that on. He was in such pain with this happened. Put on that confidence tone, that soothing for pain. 30 minutes later, he said, I'm 50% better. Because it gets into the visceral part of your system. I will say the last thing I want to share is just breathe.
Just breathe.
Just breathe. I am Jody doing Jody
things in the summer.
Jody things. See it? You want to do your thing. You want to do this so well. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to take a breath. Take another one.
And you tell everybody how they can stay connected with you, Dr. Jody.
And breathe. You can breathe with me. You can breathe with me. Just go to drjodee.com. It's drjodee.com. At Health Coach Jody on all social media platforms. And you can reach out to me at 800-820-0584. And just remember, just breathe and do your whatever your name is. Things for your
do those things, everybody. Thank you so much for being our episode sponsor. You all make sure you stay connected with Dr. Jody Bear. What I'm going to do right now is actually say thank you, continue on with your wonderful warm day this summer, and we're going to bring Yolanda back in. I'm going to pop her in right now. I'm not even going to take a commercial break. We're going to go ahead and pop you right back on the screen, Yolanda, and this has been incredible information. Dr. Jody says, make sure you put coconut water and pomegranate, yin at rest, yang with your power moments, and making sure that we cool down with some confidence tones. The way you get those is 1-800-820-0584. And those are very soothing technology for you to implement into your life. All right. And that's the information. Yolanda.
Yes, and I think it's very good that, Dr. Jody was here today because as a CEO, part of the reason that you are getting things under control and taking the hassle out of your hustle is so that you can take care of yourself. None of us start a business because we want to work harder than we ever did on a job. You start a business because you want to make your dreams your reality. So self-care is very important because when you burn out, your business burns out. Your business will never be bigger than you. So you need to continue to put into you and grow you. Every time you take time and you have personal development, you're going to reap a harvest in your business.
I am so glad you said that. Everyone that may be just tuning in, we're talking with Yolanda Churchwell, and she is teaching us how to bring balance as CEOs into our business. And tell people how they can stay connected with you too. We didn't say that in the first half.
So I am the Business Assistance Group on all platforms. I'm also Yolanda K. Churchwell, the person. If you find anything here great, worthy, informational, you want to get to know me better or find out how the bag can help you to secure your bag, just go to www.callthebag.com to set up your 30-minute complimentary consultation.
And I took probably about 3 or 4 pages of notes right here on the show while she's been talking. So I can tell you, you definitely want to grab that consultation while the getting is good. The bag is good. Okay. All right. Listen, we talked about people that would need to know how to use some systems right away. So today they can start doing these things that you're going to share with us now.
Okay, so the first thing I want to say is that I am going to share some tips that you could put in place today, right away. But I want you to know that it's not just about systems. You can go out in the world. You could be like me. I own every gadget in that kitchen. At one point in time, I had 3 George Foremans because them infomercials, girl, they catch me every time. But if you don't go in there and plug them in and buy some groceries and use them, they're not going to do any good. You can buy all kinds of systems, but if those are not the systems for you, if those are not the systems for your business and for the goals that you have planned, it's not going to work. So know that you don't know what you don't know.
That's the bottom line. I say that all the time. I don't know what I don't know.
You don't know.
Somebody else knows it because it's their gift.
Yes. And so you need to, I'm an accountant, but I have an accountant for my business because just like they say, doctors make the worst patients, accountants make the worst. Because I keep saying, oh, I'll get to it later. I'll get to it later. And then tax time comes and I'm sitting here crying. And so you have to know where you need help and get that help. I have another coach and she always says, you can't see the label from inside the jar.
Mm-hmm. And Les Brown says you can't see yourself when you're in the picture frame.
Okay. And so, and you'll notice that I have said my coach, my mentor. Let me tell you something. If you ever meet someone who's a coach and they say that they can help you and they don't have a coach, run. Nobody knows everything.
Girl, that's why I'm over here. I'm a whole talk show host. I'm about to miss my notes messing around because I can't type that fast and host the show. I'm like, I know what I'm going to do. Pull my notebook out and I'm going to get these good notes right while the getting is good.
Okay.
I don't want to have to look at the show each time and then go and stop and pause. I'm taking some notes. This is some good stuff. Go ahead.
Okay. And then, when you go to church, for those of y'all who go to church, it's a double-edged sword. The preacher be preaching, but it also apply to him. Okay. So what I'm going to say is don't be cheap about this. Okay. Don't think that you can do it on your own. You're going to need to get some help. And what I'm going to tell you is invest at the level that you expect to see a return. If you invest $2, if you that person who put $2 in the collection plate, you're going to get $2 back. And how can you expect other people to invest in you when you won't invest in yourself?
That's good. Okay. Wow. Woo. So the systems what are some of the things that people can do right now to somebody?
Hey, Dr. Yolanda. I'm sorry. I see Dr. Yolanda.
Hey, Dr. Yolanda. She done stopped by and graced us with her presence.
Mrs. Henderson. Yes.
Good morning to you, Dr. Yolanda. Listen, I'm so glad. Make sure you also check out her show. And her husband are doing some phenomenal things in the Rocky Mount, North Carolina area. And I'm so grateful to God that they are okay throughout all of the storm. It was a huge tornado that ripped through their area. So I'm so glad that you and your family are okay and that everyone is okay. Actually, I'm very grateful for that. Yes. All right. So
I promised that I would give you some things that you could start today, whether you are a solopreneur, like I said, or you have a full team or somewhere in between. So know that batching. We know it when you do things, when you go in the kitchen to cook, you get everything out at one time. Mm-hmm. You get everything laid out. You start to do your thing. When you have to go back to the grocery store every time and pick something up, that's stopping your progress. So batch things, those things that are the same, do them together. You will be more productive and you will start to save time.
Somebody type that, batch things.
Yes.
And so you're saying categorize or compile?
So do all your social media at one time. Do all your emails at one time.
And you know what? I want to say one quick interjection there. I know sometimes God will wake me up in the middle of the night and
Oh, yes.
and I sleep, I get my rest, right?
Oh,
But at
yes.
the end of the day, sometimes I wake up and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. And tell me if this is a good trait to do or strategy. So I'll draft all of my communications, but I know it's too early to start sending them to people. So I just put them all in a note and then I'll copy and paste it when maybe 8 o'clock or something. Is that
And that is a very good example of how you could start it on your own. But
okay?
then when you can there's ways that you can have that set up so that those emails, you go ahead and create them, you go ahead and hit send, but there's a delay on it. So it doesn't go until later.
Okay. So batch things, okay?
Yes. So you want to batch things or time block, however you want to say that. Set aside and get to know you. Know when you are at your best. I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
Okay. And right now I still have my 9 to 5. So I want to give the best to my business. Nothing away from my 9 to 5. I really appreciate it, but it's no longer a job or a career to me. It is an investor. It just is what it is. So I get up at 4:30 in the morning because I give my best to my business. At 7:25, the alarm goes off, and I walk from the office in the back of my house to the office in the front of my house, and I clock in and work for them. But I give me the best of me. So if you're a morning person and you find that's what you do, then make sure that you're giving your best to your business.
That's good. Okay. I love that. And I actually talk about that in some of the book stuff that I've written too. I think that you have to work with your clock. And so
Yeah,
for me,
if you stay up late at night,
then
then
do it late at night.
make sure that those things that require your creativity, you save for them. A lot of times we're working against the stream when just go with the flow and everything is so much easier.
I love that. I'm trying to do y'all a favor in the studio audience at this point. I typed for you batch things. I did do that instead of just having it over here in my notebook. Okay. And then make sure you give your best to your business. I'm typing that for y'all.
Yeah.
Don't say I never did anything for y'all.
There's just little things that you can do. Okay, so your social media. Take one day and create all of your social media. Take the next day and schedule it. There's so many different tools out here that you can use. When you see my social media posts, I schedule them all at one time. I make sure that they go at the best time of the day on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. But when you see a post from me, I didn't just do it. It was scheduled. It was planned. When I say you can batch things, how am I spending the second half of my vacation? I'm batching podcasts. 2 days, I'm doing 6 podcasts.
Yeah, I used to do that.
I got
when
different
I was at
outfits.
PBS.
Me and my makeup artist thing. I'm gonna go change. I got 2 more today. We're gonna get it all done.
And make sure that's one of the outfits that you have. Right, right that way. Yeah. Make sure that one right there that you got on. That's one of the episodes because you look slamming. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I used to do when I was on PBS at the old Praise the Lord studio. We would do the same thing, just literally. I would have the person come in with all of these clothes, makeup, different hairstyles, you name it. But we filmed seasons and it was literally in a few days in front of live studio audiences. They had to go change and do all this stuff, but it was a big deal, but it worked,
Yes. How many of you are creating new videos and going live on each platform separately?
That should not happen.
Right now, this Kim Jacobs show, she says, share it with my audience. My LinkedIn as well as my Facebook are seeing it at the same time because of a little bitty app that I call StreamYard, or we call StreamYard. StreamYard allows you to be in multiple places at one time. Yes. It also allows you to record it so then you can download it into your library. I could be on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, in groups, everywhere. You have to make sure that you find the systems that will allow you to be the most effective and do things easier and better. So scheduling your social media posts, making sure that you have the best way to stream. Again, personalizing things like this. It takes a few minutes, the banner on the bottom with all of my information. It takes a few minutes to include that in what you're doing.
That's right. Yep. Well, I do a whole training on that too.
Those are just some simple things that you could put in place today. Know that there are higher levels of systemization. I look at what's going on. So right now, through the end of the year, there is a focus on email marketing. Email is still the highest conversion factor. Yeah, social media is cute, but you're not converting anyone.
Right.
Okay. Your emails are what make people say, I want to buy. So for the rest of the year, I am working on 3 things for people. You can either get one of them or package them together.
Okay.
First, let's look at your emails. Let's look at your automation, because if I get one more email to say, dear first name,
I think that I know. I thought they automatically plug the first name in of the person. If
you
you're like
know
using,
if you know what you're doing, then it should work that way. If you tell the system to do it, then it should work that way. And what you want to do is know that some people, now not me, not Miss Kim, we know when we want something, we're going to go ahead and get it. But some people are looking for any little excuse to not make that investment.
That's
and
right.
that email that says dear first name is, oh, she don't know what she's doing, I'm not going. Don't let that be what's holding up you helping somebody with their transformation.
That's right.
So the first thing is we're doing email automation assessments to make sure everything is working right, to make sure that you're whatever system you're using. Because that's the other thing about me. I'm not going to say, oh, you have to use this system.
Right.
No, different people need different things. There's no cookie cutter approach. But I'm going to make sure that you're getting the best use out of your system. Good. And then how many of you are doing speaking engagements, writing books, you're going places? All these people are interested, but what do you do with it? How are you capturing their information, and how are you nurturing those people? So there's a whole section on lead nurture and lead capture and lead nurture.
Lead capture and lead nurture.
Yes. How do you got to collect the like I just went to a conference, I did a live. There's steps between being at a conference and moving them to a client. You need to make sure you have those things in place.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, everybody know you got to have that social proof. You got to be able to prove that you know how to do what you said you was going to do in this world of virtualness and everything. So let's create a process and a system that is automatic. Instead of you having to call people, text people, email people, let's create a system that allows you to get those testimonials from people so that you can then use them on your registration page, your sales page, in your conversations, so people know that you can do what it is you say you can do. So again, the 3 pieces that I'm really focusing on the rest of the year, you can mix and match them, you can batch them, is email automation assessments. Let's make sure that your email is doing what they're supposed to do. And let's make sure that you're getting the best use out of whatever email system you have in place. Second, let's make sure you're capturing and nurturing those leads, because that's how you get clients. And then third, after they've been a client, let's get those testimonials and secure that social proof.
Wow. That is actually perfect. So I am actually, my son's doctor's office just called. So if you saw me, like when we're talking about balance, I'm actually balancing my life for real too. And it's pretty interesting because you can't miss certain things, because if you miss it, then that was that window of opportunity. So I just picked the phone up. I'm just being totally transparent with y'all, since I'm the balance doctor and I'm telling you the truth.
But you're able to do that, Miss Kim, because you have McKinsey.
See, you're balancing your life over there, right?
Yeah, that was weird. Okay, we're gonna figure that out later. But you have McKinsey there, and she's able to assist you. That's that delegation, so that you are able to take that call, and then you are able to make a note and deal with that in a little bit later. So, but that's what I mean by you have to be able to make sure you're not so busy that you can't, when these things come up, that's an opportunity. You need to take advantage of that.
That's right. All right. Well, this is good. I think that I personally have learned so much from you today. And I cannot wait for all of you to reach out for your 30-minute consultation. This wasn't an infomercial. This is a tips for us as business owners, for us to be able to know how we can better balance our lives. Is there anything that you wanted to say that maybe you didn't get a chance to say during this episode? I'd love for you to have the moment to do it now.
A lot of people say I can't afford systems, but let me tell you, you can't afford not to. Like I said, I had a business and I didn't have the systems. And what was the cost? That business. Also, right now, when we're in a point where this economy is doing all kind of stuff, that if you have to cut back, then you need to have the processes and systems in place, because you cannot do everything. At some point, your business has grown. You could never go back to doing it all yourselves. But even if you can't have a team, you can at least have the systems and processes in place, or you can hire my team and we will make sure that we get it done for you, because we do believe in helping you take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can not only make more money, but have more free time.
Wow. there are no excuses when it comes to us being able to succeed when we have people in this world utilizing their gifts like Yolanda and her team. So let me also just acknowledge, because we didn't do any more commercial breaks, but I do want to acknowledge that one of our episode sponsors that Dr. Jody Bear mentioned, that's being in her book, Healthopedia, one of the 42 authors, is this gentleman here. And you see him in a big bulky mode here, but guess what? He went on his own transformational journey. He is a student at UNC Charlotte. He's National Association Sports Medicine certified, virtually and in person. And he went to this.
Oh, okay.
To this version of his life. And he now takes clients to be able to help them on their weight loss or weight gain journey. He fights cystic fibrosis, a lung disease, and he is kicking it in the head. And so if you are in the Charlotte and surrounding areas, and nobody in the 100 countries that this show streams in knows what I'm talking about, but if you are in the Charlotte and surrounding areas, he'll meet with you locally. But if not, he can also deal with you and converse with you virtually. Okay. So it's majorpt.com. And in total transparency, that's my son, one of our episode sponsors. So that's Ivan Jacobs, and he is majorpt.com. Reach out to him. Let him know the Kim Jacobs Show sent you his way. And how can people stay connected with you? Again, Yolanda Churchwell. You are amazing on this episode today. So thank you for taking the time to do this.
Thank you. You can find me on all platforms as the Business Assistance Group or Yolanda K. Churchwell. Again, y'all know systems make me hype, so I have these cute little vanity URLs. In case you don't know what a vanity URL is, that's just a customized website. I have these cute little customized website names to get to where you're trying to get to. So, but it's the Business Assistance Group or Yolanda K. Churchwell on all platforms. I have a Facebook group called The Hustle Hub. Please join it. I'm in there all the time, giving away tidbits, tools, helping you to make sure that you're getting the best out of what you do.
All right. And then I saw some more comments coming in. If you don't mind, for about like 1 minute, if you could, Mackenzie, pop some of them up. I want to acknowledge them right quick. My glasses fell under.
Oh, Mackenzie said you do love having her.
She does. Oh, I don't have my glasses. It fell underneath my desk. I was taking so many notes. But go ahead, read that comment for me.
She said, Mackenzie said, when I said you have Mackenzie, and she said you do love having her.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, Mackenzie. Who else? Let's see. She's taking advantage of her. You see, she's like, let me type what I want to type while I'm
right. Dr. Yolanda
said something.
Dr. Yolanda said, tell it, Yolanda. You know that namesake thing. That's so cute. She said, tell it, Yolanda.
Oh, Yolanda, tell it. Okay. Any other comments?
Scheduling saves a lot of time. Yes, it does.
Absolutely. Yes. And all of you that have been commenting, we want to just thank you for your participation, because this is the only way that the show can be what it is today, is through your active participation. So thank you all for everyone that tuned in today. And the final thing I want to do is take a moment. I have a cousin that was battling some things in her life, and her life has transitioned from this earth. And I want to take a moment to put her picture up, because she is being laid to rest, and we celebrate your life, cousin Juanita. So I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that even though she's not here on this earth anymore, her new home is heaven, that we honor and celebrate your life. And on behalf of the Kim Jacobs Show and on behalf of our entire family, we love you, and we will be missing you here on this earth. All right, everyone. That is.
Let me just add, on behalf of Yolanda Churchwell and the Business Assistance Group, we will continue to pray that God be a comforter to you all, because we know to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord.
You better believe it. And same with you and your family. I know that you recently experienced a transition of your sister, correct? If I'm not mistaken. And so I just want you to know that I do know that as well. And I do give my condolences to your family. And I also want to celebrate you for a moment, to just say happy birthday recently to you, right? Didn't that happen?
I am 48 years young, and 4 is the number for creation, and 8 is the number for new beginnings. And so this year is going to be a year where God is creating so many new beginnings in my life, and I am embracing each and every one of them.
Awesome. Well, go get that warm beach experience, change that outfit for your next taping. and you stay backstage if you can for 1 minute.
Oh, most
Everybody have a
definitely.
great rest of your day. Mackenzie, you can send us out on that note. Have a great one. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday